Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my new video where we are going to be covering a really common lane that you're going to see a lot of, and that is going to be the Garen lane up in the top lane. And I wanted to give you guys kind of just a basic blueprint on how you can look to bully him with one of my favorite picks, and that is Urgot. Now, you might struggle a little bit in the early levels, but you are going to start being able to have some windows for kill as the lane goes on here. Now I start with Cole because the healing is applied on every single W, and I'm starting E here just to counter that stupid level 1 combo that Garen always likes to do. So lane state is kind of, it's tough to maintain certain lane states when you're playing Urgot because you do push the lane with your passive. So you have to be very selective with where you auto and trying to not over push lanes with your legs. And when he's going up to farm, we just E, and it's just a pretty easy, solid bully lane for the Urgot in this situation. Now the silence can get pretty annoying when you are playing Urgot. The big key behind this lane is to make sure that you are getting your E off before he touches you with your Q, so that little bit of burst damage that he gets is going to be negated quite heavily. Now he has a little bit of a freeze here, so we have to be careful. I see Graves in the bot lane though, so we are going to be fine. That was a pretty bad E. I need to get closer to him here. And we're just looking to push this under the tower, turn off our W there, and if he autos us, the minions are going to turn on him and he's going to start taking a lot of damage. So that's exactly what I wanted to happen there, is I wanted him to start attacking me a little bit, and then we'll let the lane push out. Now he's going to be in a pretty bad situation because the lane is going to be pushing out to me because it is on his side of the map, and I have a pretty big advantage here. We'll wait for that. Oh, and we don't get the leg proc. Wow, that was really unlucky that I got tower aggro there. I don't think that I should have gotten tower aggro right there. I think it had something to do with just overall how big of a kind of champion hitbox Urgot has. But that's basically how you can bully Garen. Now he's going to be a little bit harder now that he has a initial kill, but maybe this will be a good way to show how to beat Garen after he maybe gets a little bit ahead in the early game, as you might misplay like I did just right there. So just focusing on farming, getting all of our coal stacks here is going to be really nice. Yeah, he was right between my two legs on that play, so it is a little bit of a rough situation. Oh, he rushed Ninja Tabbies. That is so freaking cowardly. Oh my god. This is a really rough lane situation, but he was able to get that huge back. Gonna look to just push this lane in a little bit. Oh, are we gonna get it saved by any fruit? Is there gonna be any honey fruit around here? It looks like he's just gonna auto push no matter what. I'm just doing like a desperation roam. I'm kind of struggling a little bit in this lane. Maybe see if my Diana can bait an all-in or something. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Lane's pushing to us. He might sit in that tri bush because he knows I'm returning. for the thing, but luckily we have this blast plant here. a little bit tilted with my farming after that. What was that, like a level 3 all in? That I like hard outplayed him on. I just really didn't respect how thick Urgot is. I'm gonna do a really high risk, high reward build here. This is gonna look really silly, but I do think it's actually a really strong build here on Urgot, and we're gonna be doing the Manamune with the presence of mind that we're gonna be getting. So we're gonna have a rather large mana pool, and it does provide that on hit on the W. Even though it is reduced in thirds, it does still do a really large amount of damage. Let's get that. Let's stack up our tier a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna preemptively mute all, because if we lose this next all in, we are definitely going to get spam pinged for this build. Now it's really interesting. A lot of Garens, they usually just rush. If they're gonna get boots, they go Berserker's Greaves. I don't know why this guy's going a little bit more defensive. Usually the build is the Berserker Greaves and Triforce, just to get you a decent amount of auto attack speed. What'll be nice about this build is you do get a little bit more mana, so you can spam your Q, because your Q is actually a really expensive spell. At level 1, it's 80 mana, which is just insane. What I'm going to be doing here with this build as well is a quick kind of tip for stacking tier on Urgot is you do not want to max your W all the way to the max level. You want to be able to get a stack trying to kind of lure him closer in their tower. You want to have your W proc your tier is basically what I'm trying to get at. And if your the ability you're using doesn't have a mana cost, it will not stack your W. And then if you just leave it with 1 point until, it will have a really short cooldown of only a 10 mana cost, so you're able to stack up your tier pretty quickly with this build. Okay, it's actually a pretty big cooldown using his W courage right there randomly. And he's looking to burst us, so we're just kind of playing this out. Now that we kind of lost our the early game a little bit with that unfortunate tower aggro, just focusing on farming. Oof. We are definitely in execute range. So his regen is just going to allow him to come back pretty quickly. I might be able to bait him towards some sort of tower dive. I can get flash silenced ulted, so we're hoping that doesn't happen. And we just completely outplay him. There's a... okay. Well, Graves did a weird ultimate, but... yeah, it's just trying to take advantage of the slow from my ultimate and just kite him out there. So that worked out pretty nicely. Let's grab our pickaxe right now and a little bit. This is the most random assortment of items. I know it looks rather strange, but it does lead to a really strong 2-item power spike when you have your fully stacked Muramana and as well as your Black Cleaver. But it's just really nice to have the freedom when you are playing Urgot to be able to spam out your abilities. And again, we have this 10 mana cost, 3-second cooldown spell, which is really just ideal for the tier of the Goddess stack. Even though we were a little bit late, we weren't able to get tier on our first back. This should be good. So he went into his Stinger first, which will be fine. He'll have decent consistent damage. I'd probably do the same into an Urgot matchup. Then again, oh, he didn't try and Q me. He just tried to Q them. I'm fine with him pushing into me because I know I'm going to outscale him in team fights, so we'll just see how this goes. I'm not really over concerned with fighting him. Just really want to stack up my tier and wait for the team fights. Or if he wants to do another tower dive, we can just outplay him here. Now sometimes out of habit you will max your W. That's not the biggest deal if you do, because you can still stack it with your other abilities, but it just will be a little bit of a struggle stacking your... Oh wow, okay. I think he knew that was coming. And it's important that we use our Q slow on Garen after he uses his Q, if you didn't know. With Garen, his Q removes all slows that are on top of him, and then his W gives him a little bit of extra tenacity. That's why sometimes it feels like it's so hard to slow down the Garen. You just need to have proper cooldown usage, and you will be able to keep him slowed if he is misplaying. So we're just going to shield off this burst. Then he has very little threat on me, and I can continually outscale him. Now, the only thing that might be a little bit of a struggle will be that he is... he does run teleport, and he will be able to split push a little bit more effectively than me like that. And he will be able to help out with some of these fights a little bit more. I'm just going to continually press the W. He's doing something you really shouldn't be doing when you're in a winning matchup. And that's just auto pushing over and over again into the tower, because you're just allowing me to get farm. Not a single minion died, and now I have access to the wave without any threat of taking damage. If he wants to proxy me, I'm completely fine with that. I do not mind if he wants to play out the lane like that. I think he's just kind of stuck and he doesn't really know what to do, because he can't really dive me, and he doesn't really understand the concept of freezing, so he is struggling to put a lot of pressure on me as we're tied in farm right now. I don't think he's going to proxy this next wave, so I'm going to take advantage of this back, and we're going to grab our Manamune, let's grab our tabbies so we can keep up with them a little bit. And let's spam our abilities a little bit to stack up our Manamune. Now that we have the presence of mind and we're going to get that extra mana on takedowns, it is going to be really, really beneficial. Because we're going to have a huge mana pool, and it will allow us to just have really strong amount of damage coming out of our W once this Manamune is stacked. But it's taken a while because I have not been the best with pressing my W on cooldown. Yeah, he's starting to understand that he is not gonna win these that much without really good Q usage. And now that my coal paid off, I have more gold than him. Just want to bait him as deep down to the lane as we can. And then he just falls into the overconfidence trap. A lot of the times when you're playing Urgot, you can feign retreat, and that will give them a false amount of confidence, and then they will look to chase you down there. And as we are going a really scaling heavy build, this will be just a decent way to play out the game, as we're able to have access to a lot of farm, because I am really unchallengeable right now with in a 1v1 situation. There might be some world where Graves can do pretty well into me, but I feel pretty confident right now. Nice, we got his teleport out of him. And just gonna... And if he wants to dive me again, I'm just going to do the same flash where I flash over the turret. And he will not be able to connect with any more auto attacks. If she does her R, oh, she doesn't have her R. Yeah, neither of us really have our R, so we don't have too much kill pressure on him there. If I had my R, I would look for a dive. I think there is a little bit of a chance you can look to Qmax here. With your bigger mana pool, it might actually be pretty beneficial, but I think that the power of the W and the E is really where it lies right now with Urgot. So I still like maxing the E and the W first. See if we can get into some team fights here. Now I'm playing this post Death's Dance nerfs, so this might be a little bit of it won't be really the best Death's Dance game. So we're just gonna run away from Graves. He can't really chase you down post slow from his smoke screen. That is the only utility he has to chase you down. Probably just going to be going a traditional build now. Just going to be going Black Cleaver and Frozen Mallet, and we should be a nice kind of front line that's going to be doing a lot of damage and be able to have a decent amount of wear and tear on the enemies. Get our W down on the tower, and we got it. Nice. Yeah, so even with that really unfortunate first kill that Garen did, it feels like this can be more of an off-meta build. I don't think this is meta in any way on Urgot, but it's just taking advantage of how strong the current state of the presence of mind is. Sell our coal and our pots, and we're able to get the Black Cleaver. Now I really want to max this out as quickly as possible because I really want to show you guys this 2-item power spike is absolutely nutty. I don't know about you guys, but I really think that Urgot should be considered a melee champion. Maybe just restrict Tiamat on him, but I think that he should have access to the good version of Death's Dance and Sterix, as he probably only has like 50 more attack range than what a Aurelia has. That's a bad E. Ugh, okay. I'm trolling. I'm trolling, alright. Yeah, his mana pool is actually really expensive. He has an E that costs 100, which is a lot of mana for a basic spell. And then his Q costs quite a bit too, so I don't think that this mana build is actually the worst when playing Urgot. Yeah, not having access to that. Oh, are they dropping a Herald on me? No, they're not dropping a Herald on me. Yeah, they're looking to dive me. I don't know about this dive. They're going to have to play it out pretty well. Because I still do damage. I just do not have... Alright, yep, so they just really misjudged the amount of damage they did. They're lucky I didn't get the fear, because I was going to flash the execute fear from the Garen onto them, and they both would have died, but we're going to save our flash for a more important team fight. God, tier is taking forever. It's already 20 minutes. Gonna look to eat up a little bit of these random farm. Just try and minimize the downtime I have. The Kayn is going blue Kayn, so he is going to be looking for kills a lot, so I don't think he's going to care too much if I am just taking some of his farm. I probably should have saved that skill point because this is going to get maxed out soon. Yeah, damn it. I should have. So I'm going to have to wait for my max W on 15. Alright, now we have it. I'm going to... Oh, actually, they're fighting. They're probably going to allow me to take this turret and to just eat up even more resources here. It's a little bit unfortunate that the Aphelios is getting those kills, but I should have pretty good pressure on him. So right now with 3 takedowns, we're getting a bonus of 44 attack damage, which is more than what our Black Cleaver even provides. So it just kind of goes to show you how a really inexpensive item in the Mana Mune that has a lot of utility for Urgot can be quite effective. Just want to get a good show of what I can do with this build. Let's just get a one-on-one. Yeah, he's only on tab as right now. I should literally just chew through this Garen. He's going to have no chance in this 1v1. And this is a relatively... just overall pretty inexpensive builds, quick power spiking. This guy's definitely going to want to greed for this tower. This Garen with Triforce takes towers rather quickly. Let's see how strong he thinks he is. Okay, so he's going to give us a fight here, which is going to be really not good for him. As you can see, the amount of damage you're able to put out so quickly with your Mirror Mana and your W combined is pretty insane. So we're going to be really strong in this 1v1. It's going to take Yuumi with someone else, I think, to be able to take me down if they want to bring 2 people at me. So we aren't as tanky as some other 2-item power spikes that Urgot is going to have. But we get the 2-item power spike quicker, and we rely a lot on the base tankiness and the HP that you get from the Black Cleaver. Alright. So, again, we did a absolute crap ton of damage to a Graves that's usually really tanky. That was Death Dance Graves with his grit up, and we just shredded through him. We are pretty squishy, but now that we have the Frozen Mallet, we're going to get the Death Dance. The reason we fell down so quickly is because we don't have magic resist, and we just took a full combo from that Fizz. But I just really want to show you guys the power of kind of this like bluish build that Urgot can provide. I'm going to be, if they don't focus me in team fights, if they just let me do what I want to do in these team fights, I'm just going to shred through a lot of there's no one that can really stand up to the just overall debuff bot that I'm going to become in the late game fights of applying my slows, applying my reduction in armor, and applying my percentage HP damage that is going to be coming out of my legs. So you scale just really, really well. Anytime you see a champion with percentage damage in their kit, in general, they are going to scale. And the more kind of base damage like that you see in a kit, the less they are going to scale outside of obviously things like crit users and things like Twitch that doesn't have any percentage HP damage. And the great thing about this Presence of Mind Mirror Mana is obviously you can really take full advantage of those very long, drawn out fights, and having a big mana pool, you're not going to just run out of mana, because as soon as you get a kill, you get a crap ton of mana back. This Graves is... If I was this Graves, I'd be pretty scared. And the wave clear is just absolutely insane. This is probably warded. See if we can get a fight here. Just dodge this turret out. See if we can get an R snipe. Pretty sure they know I'm coming, but sometimes people are a little bit too cocky and they take greedy backs. No, he used his Q to run out. Yep. Oh wait, no, he teleported out. Okay. This is randomly bot lane now. Damn. They're collapsing pretty hard on my team right now. Gonna look for a flank here. Just take advantage. And just absolutely shred through these champions. Actually, I'm going to keep pushing. He's going to stop Garen, and we're going to look for an inhib turret. So you always want to auto and then go into your W. It's going to be the most amount of damage output you can do. And we went on this trade basically just on getting more kills, as well as getting the inhib when the enemy did not get the inhib. Oh shoot, I probably could have helped with that top tower. Yeah. I might have, yeah, I was definitely the difference. That was a big mistake. I should have rotated with him. He made the right decision. I think one thing that I need to start working on is being a little bit more aggressive. Sometimes I tend to be a little bit passive. And a lot of my decision making, I'm a little bit too safe of a player. And we got him with the snipe. I don't know why people... If you're ever playing against Urgot, never walk in a straight line. It just makes it like the easiest situation ever. I have so much gold, I don't really want to give up a shutdown. Oh god, I just want to have fun with that, but yeah, let's go a little bit more of a safe build. Let's get some magic resistance for this Fizz. I'm so tempted to buy that. Rageblade can be fun on Urgot. You can stack it up really quickly, but I mean, you're just so insanely squishy. And this game is still definitely losable with Death Stance. Aphelios coming in with a Yuumi, and them having Cloud Soul is not the best time to go that kind of build. It could be worse. It could actually be an important Cloud or Dragon Soul. None of these guys really take full advantage of Dragon Soul, the Cloud Dragon Soul. It's not like we're playing against a Hecarim or an Olaf that just absolutely get huge amounts of value out of it. So just trying to take as much gold out of their pockets and put as much gold into my pockets as possible. Yeah, if he wants to fight me, let's just get him out of the way. I probably used too many resources to kill him because he's so weak there. Yeah, using my flash, ignite, and ultimate was definitely probably a bit of overkill there. Okay, he's phase rushing. And we get him with a stun. That's the dead Graves. Yeah, so this is just kind of my idea of how I think you guys should really look to counter Garen. It's a really easy play. Obviously, you're just looking to use your E on the Garen when he's looking to Q. And I just wanted to put out a video to give you guys maybe a little bit of information on how you can look to lane against something that is such a... I mean, it's such a common threat in games. And I always see Garen's doing so well, and you just absolutely shut down everything that he wants to do when you are playing these champions. If you guys have a particular champion you want to see, comment down below. And as always, guys, take it easy.